So Ben, first day defeat at Hartley Wintney. I won't prelude. Thoughts?
I just think I think where we expect to be as a side in regards to targets and expectations from the whole club. If you're going to get there, you can't become two different teams in two different halves of football. That won't get you, to be a team that's worthy of promotion. You can't flip your levels that drastically. And I think unfortunately today it was like there was a switch, because I thought first half we were brilliant. We should have been 1 or 2 up. 2 maybe a stretch. We had a fantastic chance with Nico where we should be 1-0 up, and that will change the flip side of the game. However, we still, we're causing them problems, had chances, hit the bar. We were a threat from set pieces. I thought we played the pitch very well first half, and I just thought we were on top. And then we've come out the second half a completely different side. Credit to them. I said, at half time I think they weren't on top in the first half. I thought we were the better side, but in the second half they were by far the better side, and they've then put their good performance second half wise and added goals to it. And they've taken their chances, and that's what we didn't do first half.
So we've got a quick turnaround Tuesday. We've got Buffon Sports at home. How do you create that kind of belief that when you're on top you score goals that we didn't have today?
Well, listen, I think we had a belief that we were going to score goals because we had so many chances. I think the boys at half time, we could see that chances were coming. It was almost a case of, we probably didn't really want a half time because I thought we was on top.
Yeah.
The problem is in the second half, I think apart from Sam's half chance in terms of his header, we didn't create one. And that's the worrying bit, because your levels are up here first half and then down here second half. That we can't allow that to happen, because you won't be successful like that. You need to have some sort of consistency across your performance. The beauty of this game and this level of football is that you do have a quick turnaround, and you've got 2 days to allow you to then put it right at home on Tuesday, which you go and serve up a good performance and get a win at home. Suddenly, the belief is straight back. But I think that the first half performance doesn't take much belief away from us. It's just the manner in which we've gone out and performed in the second half, which is not acceptable really.
So how much of that difference in performance from the first half to the second half comes from the players? How much do you look inside yourself and I need to see more?
One of my messages at half time was the fact that if the game continued as it was, the word for word sentence that I said to them is, if you allow them to play a hopeless ball forwards, which they did for the first goal, and not defend it correctly when you're up against 2 strikers, man for man at the back. In the first half we defended that very, very well, and we was a problem out wide because of our shape, causing them an issue. And at half time I said, if you allow a helpless ball forward and don't defend it right, you're going to find yourselves 1-0 down, and that's exactly what we did. Second goal for me is not a penalty, but it is what it is. Jav he's defended brilliantly, probably should have got 3 or 4 fouls himself as he's carrying the ball out. He should, for me, should just get the ball forward, and then suddenly we're on the end of another goal. But they've scored 3 and we haven't scored 1. So they're the type of things that we discussed at half time, and I thought, like I said, we were playing the conditions. It wasn't a pitch where you could get the ball down and play. You had to just do the basics and not take any risks, especially first game, opening day of the season. You don't want to take no risk. The message is coming away from 3 points. So that's what we tried to do. And at half time I thought we was comfortable. We've just come out second best at everything in the second half, and you have to play credit to them, because they probably got a little bit of a rocket at half time in regards to how well we were controlling the game and causing threats, and they've come out and raised their levels, and we haven't even kept ours the same. We've dropped ours, and that was the biggest issue for me today. So credit to them in the second half, because they were by far the better team.
Sure. So you made allusion there to the conditions. It was a hard pitch, it was sandy, it was very wobbly.
can't, you know, when I talk about the pitch, it just means that you have to play it correctly. There's no excuse as to why you've lost the game, because if you want to get promoted in this league, you're going to play on some difficult pitches. It's as simple as that. This is their home ground, and they've beat us 3-0 on the same pitch that we've lost 3-0 on.
Sure.
So, you know, it's not an excuse in regards to losing the game, but it's changing the way that you might have to approach a game, and use a little bit of nous and know that you might just have to get the ball forward and not take risks in certain areas, which they did brilliantly in the second half, and we didn't. In the first half, you know, I thought at times you'd have probably looked at us and gone, "God, they're an ugly side," but it's what it would take. You know, we're going to play half of our games on an artificial surface. Everything else, you know, will test us. But that will test every side, and the ones that get promoted are the ones that can cope with it. And we did in the second half.
Ben, see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. Thank you very much.